What's up, Wargamers? Welcome back to World of Wargaming. I'm Isaiah, and today we're going to be playing a game of Dread Knights. We're going to be playing the scenario, every hour kills, the last hour wounds. Before we get into all the details and take a look at the board and all the stuff, please consider smashing all the buttons, as it really does help push the channel out to more people. That being said, let's go take a look at the board and the scenario for this game of Dread Knights. Okay, friends, so welcome back to the city. Today, we're going to fight some stuff that I have absolutely no idea how to pronounce. And since I didn't know how to pronounce it, I looked it up. And I think that it's a monster that they made up for the game. So, I'm going to do my very, very best to pronounce this, and just bear with me. Let me know how you pronounce it in the comments. How do you say it? Give me a phonetic spelling for how you say it. We're going to go up against the Leia Kyrie, or Kyrie. I'm going to say Kyrie, the Leia Kyrie. No idea if that's even close to what Mr. Ramen expected that to say. But it is a Fey type creature. It is usually seen as some type of old hag, and it's a little scary. It doesn't have a lot of HP, and it doesn't hit super hard. But it makes you take a lot of morale tests because it's just absolutely terrifying. So if you start an activation within line of sight of it, you have to take a morale test. Now, if you fail, it's not that big of a deal. You flee, as per the morale rules. But if you fumble it, you're just immediately dead. You're scared literally to death. Now, once you pass one of those, you don't have to take another one. You're good to go at that point. And then if you deal damage to it, you are able to feel its pain. And then you must take a morale test. And our job in this scenario is we have 7 turns to try to get rid of these things. Now, one of my models is gifted an iron horseshoe as a free piece of equipment. It's an agility-based attack, but it deals no damage. Fey creatures are notoriously afraid of iron and allergic to it. So if you hit it with it, it will immediately flee 6 inches. And you can potentially make it run off the board by doing that. On turns 2 and 4, we get a random monster at the beginning of the round. We're going to roll for weather and stuff as normal here in just a moment. And as I said, we got 7 turns. This might be a little challenging. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we got a D10 up here to remind me of the weather. It is windy, so it's -1 to all ranged attacks. And Cass has the iron horseshoe. He's got the best agility. Speaking of Cass, we're going to start with him and a double move. Just up to the other side of the card, because I can't get close enough of them to move and hit them, but I can make myself the first thing that they come towards, or make Cass the primary target for them. Also, before I proceed, I did forget to mention there are 2 corpses on the battlefield that are lootable. The rest of my turn is pretty much just going to be moving, so I don't know if I want to try to. Nah, we'll take some shots. I'm gonna move, and Sam's gonna shoot. So let's see if we can hit this thing. 12 will hit all day. Or a D8. 5, which with their armor of 1 will drop down to 4. Bobby's gonna try to go around. Dean's gonna peel out and take a shot. Also, I have to back up and take the morale test for Sam. I forgot all about that because I dealt damage to the oh Lord, the Leia Kyrie. We're gonna re-roll that. 100%. We're gonna re-roll that. 10 plus my presence of 3 is good. Now that we've got Sam's check sorted, Dean will take a shot. 19 is definitely a hit. Let's see what we get. I think, though, that I'm going to be using an omen here. 5, 4. That's not enough to kill it. So, yeah, I'm going to use my max damage. Since I'm going to have to take a morale test regardless, I'm going to take the max damage on that. So, let's see what we do on our morale test. 16. We're good. So, 1 down. And I swapped the models because I like that hag better than the other one. And Ellen is going to move into the urgent care. Double moving up into that corner where she just can't see anything. Which is fine for now. Speaking of that Layla Kyrie, we're going to see how far she moves. 7. That will get her into Sam's face. See if she hits. She does not hit on a 6. End of the turn, we'll see if we get weather change. We do get weather change. 3. It's full moon. So, Cass is selenophobic, so he's now terrified with the horseshoe. And it's turn 2 now, so we get a random mob. A 19 is another word I don't know how to pronounce. Gwain Anwen, maybe? So it turns out that's a word I could look up. It is a Cún Anún, which is the Welsh word for a black hound, like a hellhound. So it's coming in on that left side of the board, right there. And if it's on the board at the end of a turn, everybody has to roll a d20. And if they roll a 1, they're dead. It's another fey creature. I don't know if the horseshoe will react with it the same way it would to the Leia Kyrie, because that's, I think, specific to the scenario. It is to the scenario, but it applies to all fey creatures, which the Cún Anún is. So we're going to start with Cass, who can see the Leia Kyrie at the start of his activation, so he's got to take a morale test. We're going to use the blessing, to automatically pass that test, because I need him in the game. In with the horseshoe, because she's within 6 inches. If he hits, would take her off the board. Whew. That full moon hurts. But a 12 will hit, because the -3 from the selenophobia just cancels out his agility bonus. So that's 6 inches away. We'll take her away. And had we not rolled the Cún Anún, we would be done there. But it's not when all of the Leia Kyrie have left the table. It's when all of the Fae have left the table. And that hellishly good boy is a Fae. So we're going to we're going to go next with Sam, who's going to move up his 6 to right behind the Hummer, where he can take a shot at the Black Hound. There's an 18 or a D8. 6. And it has no armor, so it'll take the full 6 damage out of 10 health. Dean will move up to lay down some fire support. 2 is a miss, but at least it's not a fumble. Ellen is up next, who's going to shuffle her way up to try to get a shot. Getting up just enough to get a shot off. 16 is a hit. 4. A D8 on a revolver. 3. I gotta take it. Old Bobby up here is gonna move out best he can. Let's see how far the Cún Anún can run. He gets 2d6. Plenty, I think, to get to me. Let's see. It can indeed get to me. Let's see if it can bite me. On a 14, it can bite me for, I think, a D10 or a D8. 4 damage. -1 for my leather coat, 3 damage. Nothing to sneeze at, as that is about half my health pool. End of turn 2. Let's see if we can get a weather change. 9 is not going to do it. So we'll start with Cass, who's going to run up on that Kunanun. Hit it with a horseshoe. 15 is going to do it. So that's going to back him up 6 inches away from me, thus giving me a little bit of room to do what I need to do to try to deal with it. We'll start with Ellen, who's going to shoot her shot. 7 is not going to do it. Sam's going to go next. He does have to move a little bit in order to get a shot, and he will take said shot. 18 is going to hit. And it has no armor. It has 1 health left. I'm going to roll this because rolling dice is fun, but I don't have to. And I got an 8. Way out of here. Dean will move to that corpse and give it a loot. That's a fail. Okay. Bobby will hustle over to this corpse on the eastern side of the table, and he will check out that corpse. A 13 will get us something. It'll get us 7 shillings, but I'm going to use my re-roll and try again. 13. 13 is a random armor. We get a 6. We get a neck brace, which is armor value 0, but it can ignore 1 attack from a vampire, and then the brace is destroyed. So that's kind of cool. That will end the turn, as well as the game. I feel like I got really, really lucky with the Kunanun, being able to get rid of it relatively quickly, but also just only having to deal with its howl for 1 turn. Rolling a 1 on a d20 is not a high probability. It's a 1 in 20 chance. So it feels very lucky, though, because it's just like if you're going to roll a 1 when stuff like that's going on, that's the time that it's going to happen. So we're going to net a total of 16 coin there. 10 from our guild reward and 3 for each of the Layla Kyrie that we killed. And then we're going to get a total of 5 XP, which we're going to spend to take our friend Bobby to strength 4. And our random event is a bad night out. So we randomly rolled, we got Bobby, and I have the choice of him getting -1 agility or the lycanthropy infection. And you know what? I'm going to let Bobby become a werewolf. It has some benefits and some drawbacks. It also unlocks another scenario, like a repeatable scenario, to try to get the cure. So we're just going to let that ride and see how it goes. Next scenario may be to try to go get the cure. But for today, we are done here. Thanks so much for tuning in, hanging out while I played a game of Dread Knights. I hope you have an absolutely amazing rest of your day.